Hello everyone, and today we're going to talk about my first ever broker, InvestEngine, and I'm going to reveal my ISA, one of the ISAs that I've recently put there. And without further ado, let's go into the website. Once you're there, you're going to log in. They will ask you for a little PIN, which you'll get sent to your mobile phone. If you could just bear with me. And we're in. Right. So at the moment, just in this portfolio, I've got 126,000. 40,000 of that, it's basically on a DIY cash. Basically, next April, 20,000 of these is going to go into this account, and 20,000 will go into my wife's account, and it all be wrapped in an ISA, so the greasy hands of the taxman can't get their hands on it. But we're going to go and have a look inside the actual ISA. So a quick snapshot of the actual portfolio. So this is how much we've sort of invested so far, where we are at the moment. We've contributed 76, let's say 77,000, and we're about 86,500 or so, or thereabouts. All these little dots that you see, this is all the buying and selling. This was all in the cash ISA that got moved over to this stock and shares ISA, and since then you can see what is done. And this is all auto investing, pretty much. So this account pays me a dividend. There is some accumulation, we'll go through it. Some accumulation of ETFs on this, but there is a lot of distribution. So every month I do get dividends, which, as you can see, this is pretty much every single month since we started back in sort of end of August, September, when the money's gone through. So going back into it, this is all the little buys and sells in a portfolio. So where we don't know is where we are now. Am I buying at the high? And then this is a down leg, or what we call a retracement. So this is going up, retracement going up. Could this be the next retracement? Now, if it does happen, I'm not bothered with it, because it just means that I can buy stocks and ETFs at a discount price. So every time they go down, this was cheaper to buy. So if you think of like a pint of milk that was £1 up here, when I bought it, it was now, let's say, 75p or 50p, and it's now at £2. So there's a profit that was obviously made in there. But obviously here you could get that, but I'm not bothered. I just go and shop a little bit more. Looking inside the actual, let's go and have a look at the outline of the portfolio. So these are the holdings, and you can see accumulating. These are distributions. These are recent add-ons. Then I've got some dividend paying ones, so again accumulating. So this is part of the foundation with some of these ETFs around the middle of the pyramid, and some obviously at the top of the pyramid. So every month I get paid, and it keeps buying more accumulating stocks, and more, obviously more distributing stocks. If we look at the regions, it's mainly basically America. The last 4 or 5 years, America and all the big business in America have done amazing. The UK, obviously, this is where I'm based, so I do have a little bit in there, and then the rest of the world or emerging markets. If we look at the sectors, mainly industrial, and then there is some technology, AI and what have you, and then obviously there is some financial in there. If we now go back to the holdings, my biggest sort of holder there will be Nvidia, and this is basically because a lot of the ETFs sort of are overlapping each other. So if Nvidia goes down, that's quite a big drop. But when Nvidia, as it's done for the last 2.5 years, goes up, obviously you benefit a lot, because you do have different ETFs with different stocks that sort of overlap. just show you a little bit of what's in there. And then basically you've seen all the ETFs. Let's go back now to the portfolio. So this is just basically recently added onto this InvestEngine. I start off with InvestEngine, and I move over to the other brokers. And one of the things I did realize is that I was actually paying fees. This broker you don't pay any fees if you self-invest yourself. Obviously, if you've got a managed fund, there is someone that's doing it for you, and there will be a fee involved. So some of these ETFs, I'm going to start obviously adding more to it, and next year, as previously mentioned, I'm going to put 20 grand into here, so there'll be 106,000, and obviously these will go up a fair bit. These are my new recent additions. This here basically just means that there's been orders that was placed. So basically I've got some other dividend, and the orders have been placed. This is distributing one. So if we go back, this is all part of the foundation. This is all accumulation. And then obviously you've got the dividend ones that we love, right? This one obviously pays every month. It's a distributing one, paying monthly, and we get a 9.16% dividend yield. If we go back to, for example, VHYL, that's a quarterly one. So there you go. So every 3 months you get paid. But really good companies on this, and obviously as you can see the fund itself has gone up. This is obviously the orange man over the pond who loves talking rubbish. This is around the tariffs, I think, which again, as I said, I just bought loads of stuff at discount every time it comes down, so this is a little discount. And then you have the monthly payers. So this one's a monthly payer, monthly, distributing 8.35. My two latest additions, which was basically 3 or 4 days ago that I bought, is these ones, again paying monthly, 7.77, and this one, which again monthly, 10% yield, and obviously distributing. But going back to the actual InvestEngine as an app, there is no stocks as such. There is ETFs. You have pretty much all the major and big providers, and obviously you got different asset classes as well. You can get bonds, and then when I was first starting to invest in InvestEngine, one of the things that helped me a lot, just having a look at all these different ETFs that they have. I think in total they've got about 870 ETFs. So for example, if we're focused mainly on dividends, you can just click on this, and then you can have a look at the ones that again accumulating or distributing. You can see how much it charges. Fees are very, very reasonable. So, and then obviously you got these ones here, the S&P 500. Actively manage, these ones here basically just means that you got someone behind them, and they're sort of managing that ETF to make sure that they're on target to hit whatever the ETF's targets are. Right, so basically this is pretty much what it looks like on the inside. You can open obviously a SIP or personal pension. You can also invest in there. I'm going to just very quickly just go through this. I mean, this is basically a lot of it. As the pyramid says, you've got the UK dividends, Euro dividends, Aristocrats, US, and some of the blockchain. Now, some of these have done really, really well. As you can see, this one's 55%. But obviously, as we know, this is all AI, which is quite a really hot sector or industry, AI and robotics. So they invest a lot in that sort of sector. But they're sort of new to the market, so we're so slowly starting to sort of dip into it. Another good ETF. And then obviously we got the old Global XP Super Dividend. which is I'm heavily invested in it just for the monthly income. So today is the 4th of June. If we look at the S&P 500 really quickly, some of the semiconductors have taken a bit of a hit, but as you can see, by diversifying your money, so you've got technology, communication services, you've got consumer cyclical, say the word, but anyway, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, these are obviously the big companies. If you go into market cap, you can see that these are the big plays. They're all basically based in America. And then if you look at the world, not too bad. Yesterday was a bit more weather. So ETFs, this is all the different ETFs that we invest, and we just sort of had a quick look at. You've got the Nasdaq, which is basically a lot of it is just technology, and you've got the Dow Jones. So again, what the market is doing, so if you look at all the stocks, you've got all of this section here with all these different stocks. I'm not too bothered what the actual market is doing. My main thing, as I mentioned, is dividends. So today I've got paid £67 for not doing anything. Tomorrow I'm going to get paid £369, and it's all down to obviously having things in ISAs and having this passive income which keeps being reinvested. So I hope you enjoy this. There is a refer a friend scheme that they have, so if you use a link, I'll get some money and you can get up to £200 just for joining them. But again, it's entirely up to yourself. I'm not here to force things down people's throats. I'm just showing what I invest in and why I like them. So InvestEngine for ETFs, I do like them. There's so many choices, as you saw, 870. It all comes down to what you want to sort of invest in. Radio, so I'll see you inside the channel at RG Dividends, and you've been wonderful. Cheerio.